Because joining us now is the Everton manager, Frank Lampard, who's just coming pitch side to join us. Frank, good to see you.
How you doing?
Welcome along.
How are you? Okay.
Squeeze yourselves in between Les and Rachel.
In between?
Yeah, just come in the middle, Frank. Welcome along.
I've broken my hand, by the way, in the celebration.
Seriously? Can we get a close-up of this?
I don't know.
He's got a massive bruise about it.
I'll
Talk us through that
3
one.
points. No, it was in the celebration to the goal. I didn't realise at the time, and then as the game carried on, it was like I'm a bit sore there and a bit shaky.
But hey, after that, I doubt you'll care too much.
No, don't care. Don't care.
Describe your emotions right now.
No, it was an amazing night, and it's important that we put perspective on it because we need those nights and there's a long way to go. But we must enjoy them and we must realise what got us that win. And it was spirit, it was togetherness. Spoke a lot with the players this week and some players stood up tonight. Seamus Coleman, the captain, the way we defended our box. Tough game against a very, very good team, strong team in Newcastle. And it was all about spirit, our quality. It wasn't a night for quality, it wasn't a night for calm. Let's get the ball down and play. It wasn't that kind of night. We needed one where we had to fight for it. It means so much to this stadium. You all felt that here tonight.
I thought the fans played a big part, and at the start of the show we said it was going to be about performance. It weren't about, and when I talked about performance, it weren't about getting it down and playing. It was about what you was going to show here. Because after last weekend, the 4-0, you could come here and you could go into your shelves. And I thought the first half you had to weather the storm a little bit, but you did that really well. Sending off, I thought galvanised the team as well.
Yeah, I mean, on the first point, I think that we went to Newcastle, my first league game, and we went it the other way around. Their crowd were amazing and it affected the team. And our crowd were brilliant tonight. But you know what, when the game gets tough, first half was hard. Big spaces, there were some tactical things that were hard for us to deal with. And at half-time, I just wanted to be so positive with the team and sort of use the atmosphere and use the side of the game that everyone, this club needs to have. Everton fans want to see passion, they want to see what they feel. And there's been a lot of negativity around the players and fans and all this stuff this week. Proved it, what we can be tonight. I think the sending off, I agree, in terms of what it did. I don't think it was a red card.
Well, let's have a look at it, Frank, because the wide consensus from Everton fans and beyond is this is not a red card.
The really frustrating thing for us is, right, and I know you can't load up your situations. We had one here 2-3 weeks ago against Manchester City. The referee didn't see it, so he needed help from VAR and he didn't get it, so it goes against us. This is one where the referee sees. He makes a decision on the yellow, and as far as I know, when the referee sees clearly and it's a change of decision, potentially it has to be clear and obvious that that's a red card, and it's not a clear and obvious red card. Is it a yellow? Of course. Is it a strong yellow? Potentially. But is it due to be changed to red card to affect that game? Because we could have lost that game off the back of that, as much as it galvanised us. So I just hope that won't get turned over because they have to stick to their guns on these things. But when you have to speak to Mike Riley and speak to referees' meetings and do the managers' meetings, you get a little bit tired when you have conversations that go, come on, there's plenty of time to deal with that and plenty of time to be balanced. And it was just a wrong decision for me. And the biggest problem is we get 3 points, but we lose Alan for 3 games, which is a big deal for us.
Well, let's go from Alan to Alan Shearer. And you were fairly firm on what you felt about that red card. Do you share what Frank's had to say there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a reaction from last weekend where they took a little bit of criticism in the Newcastle-Chelsea game. There was a red card. There could have been a red card when Havertz went into the challenge with his elbow, and I think that's potentially a reaction from what they've been criticised at the weekend. I didn't think it was a red card. I think Craig Porton, the referee, is 10 yards behind that. He's got such a clear view of it, and I wanted him to go over to the monitor and actually say, no, you know what? I got my decision right. It was a yellow card correctly. It was a strong yellow card, but there's no way that I think that is an absolute howler for the VAR to say to him, you've made such a terrible error there, you've got to overturn that. And I thought it was very harsh.
Sorry, I completely agree with Alan, and I think what we're getting to now is the nature of VAR, that is the human part. And for me, it feels like there are referees that are refereeing here 1 week and then they're sitting doing VAR the next week. And so once they decide that this is the way we're going to turn this decision, no one has got at the minute the balls to go, no, I stick by my first decision. They go, OK, we'll go with that because that feels the right way. That's what my thought. As soon as you see the sign and go up, you go, well, he's going to send him off. But will there be one referee that goes, you know what, no, my decision was the first one and now I've had a second look, I still believe in it. Doesn't mean that we're wrong, but I think when we're having referees that are doing on pitch 1 week, VAR the next, maybe we have to look at, can we get VAR specialists? That's their game to sit there and make decisions.
I couldn't agree more, Frank. I totally agree with it. I think it's a specialised subject. I don't think it's for the referees to do that and referee on the pitch one Saturday and then the next Saturday do VAR. How on earth do you think they're going to get better at that? It's a specialised subject. Couldn't agree more.
when you freeze frame Alan's lunge as to why he got sent off, that's what, you know, the VAR refs were looking at, and that's what you can maybe justify it being a sending off. But it's never a sending off, as you said, dehumanise it. But you look at it in real time, it's never a sending off. Aside from that, first clean sheet since November.
Nicely done.
How did you achieve that?
Nicely done. By grit, by the defenders defending, by the team understanding that when we want to win the ball high, can we win it high? We've done that a lot of Goodison since I've been here, but the mindset has to change the minute we have to defend our box. And I thought Mason Holgate, Michael Keane were fantastic. Begovic come in there as well. It was a yesterday decision because Jordan wasn't so well. So a lot of things with spirit and togetherness. And the reality is we're in this situation. It might not be a beautiful thing for the next 11 games, but when we have to fight because you get clean sheets off the back of it.
What are you thinking when you've gone down to 10 men and it's still all square? What's going through your mind at that point?
I'll take a point. I'll take a point. You know, these are a good team. Newcastle will be all right. They don't need me to say that for them, but I just think they're well coached. They're brought in really well. Some really good players. They're strong. They're physical. There's a lot of good things going on for them. But from our point of view, it was just can we dig in? What changes have you got to make? Which we had to bring Andre Gomez in, and then the feeling that if we can dig in, can we get one or two opportunities? But at that point, it's tough because all of a sudden you realise there's 14 minutes over injury time, and like, here we go.
And was that the thinking, bringing Calvert-Lewin on, creating those opportunities, which of course he ended up doing?
Yeah, and for Dominic, a lot of talk about him here, rightly so, because of the level of player that he is, and he's had a really tough time. But this from Iwobi's amazing, the way he chopped inside, and then from Dom, this would do Dom the biggest favour, being involved in that goal with that level of quality, because he's missed so many games of football, and Les will know that as a striker, those are the things, that little edge, that little bit of sharpness and that feeling that something like that can give you is going to be hopefully the catalyst for him to go on now. He's been not well last week, so he came on. I just felt that bringing him on before the red card was Dom can hold it up, he can compete with big defenders. Richie had done that a lot, and we need a fit and firing Dom to help this club and this team.
How close to starting is he?
Oh, he's close. He's close, and he was close before this. And as I say, there's a lot of expectation, and I feel for him a bit with that sometimes because it's not easy as a striker, as I say. But he's close, and in terms of what we have for Sunday in the FA Cup and for this after the international break, we need Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We need all our players, the big players, and he's a big player.
Frank, be honest, did you punch the dugout? Was it because of the red card or the goal?
It was the goal. It was the goal. Honestly, I must have my bones must be going a bit soft because I don't remember the moment. And if my left hook, it wouldn't hurt anybody, but I managed to hurt myself.
The adrenaline will get you through it, I'm sure. Well done.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you.
As you rightly say, and before we let you go, Frank, there's still a huge job to do. 11 games to go this season, but how much does the complexion of things here change after tonight?
Well, the table will look a bit different because these are one of our games on hand and a few around us, so that's a big thing for us tonight. The spirit and the feeling and the type of win that it was is something we have to hold on to. And my job afterwards is to let the lads enjoy it a little bit tonight and understand what that winning feeling feels like. Because when I got here, there'd been a long time of losing a lot of games. Since I've been here, we've lost some games. And that feeling's not a nice one as a player, it's horrible, and you've got to try and turn it, and sometimes it's not a nice thing. But hopefully that can be the catalyst to turn it for us, and the whole stadium and how the club feels. It's been a bit negative, and I understand it, but now it's time to actually be positive and look forward.
And we talked about Anthony Gordon before the game and what a prospect he is, and he's an exciting prospect, isn't he?
Cool. He's amazing to work with. The energy that you see on the pitch is the energy he gives every day. He loves the club. He's a smart boy. He knows what he needs to work on. And since I've been here, in terms of the level, in terms of games where we've been good or games where we're not so good, his levels haven't dropped. And his constant energy, the way the fans feel about him is a big deal because that's infectious through the whole team. Speed, he wants more goals, he wants more end product. That's because he has the attitude of a top young player. And loved working with him. Yeah, really, really top young lad.
It looks like there's plenty more to come from him. Frank, we've really enjoyed talking to you. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Is it a trip now to the club doctor or to A&E?
I've already spoken to him and he's given me a couple of pills and I might have a beer or two to wash them down.
Is that doctor's orders?
Yes, he made me. He's going to
and then the pain will return in the morning.
Yeah, it will do. But you know what? A big game in a few days, so we have to come down pretty quickly.
Palace away, isn't it? The cup
list.
Yeah, and then West Ham.
Yeah. They don't get any easier.
No, they don't. Frank, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well done on tonight.
Good to see you.
We wish you well.